Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and I hope you're having a very good Monday so far. If not, hopefully I will be bringing you some nostalgia today. This is my generation gaming video I have been wanting to do since last year. I finally sat down and literally had to go all the way back to my childhood and think of all the games I've ever played, had, right up to like what I've got now. And I thought it'd just be really interesting and fun to just go all the way back in time and share with you lot basically games that I have had or played or enjoyed. This is also partly because I went to see a couple of weeks ago Ready Player One, which was fantastic. I waited so long to see this film. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was just like, right, gotta go see that. I completely fangirled out over the trailer and it did not let me down. I cannot wait to get it on Blu-ray and watch it again and again and again. So many Easter eggs, absolutely love the film. So yeah, I'm also gone and done a new little game trailer, which you'll be seeing in a minute. I've been dying to use this. I'm really proud. I've done the music myself and the gameplay is mine, which I've like all talked about, so I'm like super excited to do that. If you don't like it, I personally don't care because I worked really hard on it. So yeah, let's get straight into Generation Gaming. Okay, so first of all, we are going to go all the way back to the Amiga. I want to say there was the Commodore, but I really do not remember because I was like so young at the time. But yeah, the first one I do remember 100% was the Amiga. I will be putting in pictures of stuff as well as we go. So with that, there was things like the screen desktop. God, I remember it was like a grey screen with like actual drawers that were like files and things. It was really, really cool. We had floppy disks back then as well, which is what the games came on. And the joysticks, oh, I loved the joysticks. There was some really rubbish joysticks, and there was one joystick we had was like black with like 2 yellow buttons, and it properly clicked. Oh, I love that thing. So yeah, that's what we used to actually play games, or I did then. And the sort of games that we had, I've literally got a massive list in front of me, was things like we had pockets. So it was this kid that had like loads of stuff in his pockets, and you'd have to like take stuff out of his pockets to like get through the game. Clacks, I hated Clacks. Clacks was a horrible game. I remember there was like colours, and you used to have to like go along to get the right colours. I hated that game because it would speed up. There was Doom 2, I remember Doom 2, where you had to like harvest some stuff, and there was the worms and all of that sort of thing. Lemmings, everybody I know of pretty much does know what Lemmings was. Lemmings obviously back then was very 2D, it was very flat, and they had their little purple suits on with the green hair, and you would literally have to just try and get them to go to certain places so they wouldn't die and just go off the cliff. Theme Park, I don't know anybody who doesn't know about Theme Park. It was one of like the first games where you could actually own a theme park. And you would build it, and you would have to sort of like make your staff happy and pay them correctly and get enough people in and do the tickets. And yes, that was a very fun game, and I would definitely buy it and play that again. My favourite games, I have got a separate section for favourite games, are Rainbow Island. Not many people know about Rainbow Island, and I absolutely love Rainbow Island. It was basically like a platform you'd have to go up to get out of the level, and you used to have to throw rainbows out to make bridges. James Pond 2, Robocod, another fantastic game. Like 100 levels I think there was in this game, and there were bits where it would get stuck, you would get jammed, it would be bugged. I remember I found like one room of like jelly, orange jelly, and it was like a hidden room. I remember he used to like, it was in like one room, and he used to stretch to the top, and you'd like go along the top and he would disappear, and I was like, oh my god, am I going outside the game? And I pushed him further and further. He went through this wall into this like jelly level, and it was so cool, and he would just be fizzing about, and it would be really fast, and you'd have to like grab all this stuff, but occasionally if you made him bounce between the jelly, he would just do this, and that was it. You totally lost him then, because he would not stop bouncing, so you'd have to like reset the game, and then all of your save stuff would just be gone. So Another one that people haven't really heard of is the New Zealand Story. That was so cool. You're basically this little kiwi, like the bird, and all of your brothers and sisters had been like kidnapped or something, and you had to go and rescue them, and you'd have to go through the level, and you'd have to like rescue the kiwis as you went. There was quite a few levels though. I think it was like level 2 I got stuck on. Like as a kid, for me, it was pretty hard. I had no patience. I just wanted to win and get through. And level 2 for me was like pretty much it, but I kept on trying and trying, and it was a really, really good game. Another one that most people probably wouldn't have heard of is Dragon Tiles. Now Dragon Tiles was actually on like a floppy disk which had something like 200 something games on it, and you would put the floppy disk in and it would come up with a list of games, and you would actually have to like press F1, F2, F3 and something else to get the game that you wanted. Dragon Tiles was one of them. It's, for me, the only way I can explain it is the earliest Mahjong game ever, and I would play it all of the time. I love that game. This is probably why I like Mahjong now. Zool was awesome. Again, it was just like platformer, and you would just run. It was kind of like, dare I say, Sonic the Hedgehog, but Zool was awesome. You would run through the platforms, you would have to collect stuff, kill things. He kind of looked like an ant, I guess, and yeah, he would like collect Chupa Chups. Now, way back then, I would find these Chupa Chup things in the game, and I was like, what the hell's a Chupa Chup? But, you know, I think they meant like extra lives or extra points or something, so I'd collect them. And then I was in a shop one day, and there was Chupa Chup lollies, and I was like, what is the connection here? Could not figure it out. But yeah, I was like, wow, I've heard of Chupa Chup lollies ages ago because this is in the game. It was so cool. I was like, wow, I feel like really ahead of my time. Rodland, oh my god, this was my all-time favourite game on the Amiga. It was Rodland. Me and my mum used to play it, and you were basically these two little fairies, one was blue, one was pink, and you had these rods, and it sounds absolutely horrible, but it was really, really funny, and you would have to grab things with the rod, and you would literally just squish it back and forth to kill it, and then you would like collect the flowers. Once you've collected all the flowers in the level, you would then get like a bonus level where all the baddies in it would like turn into these little pink things. You'd have to squish them, and they would spell out a word like extra, and then you would gain extra life throughout the games. It was really, really funny. There was probably like 50 or 100 levels of that as well, and it got really, really difficult, to the point where we found a cheat. I don't know if anybody like remembers cheat codes back then, but we had a cheat code, and it would give us like unlimited lives, and we completed it over and over, and it was just really, really fun to play that with my mom. I'm pretty sure Settlers was on the Amiga, like the first Settlers game, which I loved. You would have to obviously put your castle down, and then you'd have to go and mine ore and gold, and you'd have to like make enough stuff for crop farmers, and then you'd have knights and their houses, and you'd expand. And I loved Settlers, the very first like original Settlers games. I loved. Me, my mum and my dad, we all played it. It was really, really cool. I love that. Microsoft Windows, so like onto the PC. Again, I'll put pictures in of like what it is I'm sort of talking about. So we had Theme Park again, which very much resembled just the original Theme Park. I don't think there was much difference graphically from what I can remember. This is going back a way now. I also had Dogs 5. I really wanted a dog when I was a kid. I really wanted a puppy or a dog, like friends of mine had it. And I ended up getting dogs because I was like, well, if I can't have a real one, I'll have one on a computer. And I played it for ages, and I loved it, and it was really, really fun. That's also, though, the time that The Sims started. So I actually had The Sims 1, 2 and 3, and I've been obsessed with them ever since. I still love The Sims now, but Sims 1, 2 and 3 was like gold to me. I would play it for hours, to the point where I remember distinctly playing it for like 6 hours straight. Didn't save it, had a power cut, lost it all. I was gutted, and that's not the first time it's happened as well. That has happened since, it always seems to be when I'm playing The Sims games that there was power cuts. Then we've got things like Black and White. Black and White was really cool. I tried my hardest to do the right thing in that game. Black and White was awesome because obviously you had like an animal, which would be like you would be the god, and then the animal would be like the ones, like you would make it do stuff, you could play with it and things like that, and I think it would like do stuff where your followers or your worshippers would like believe you exist or something like that, and it would like expand your like area, and there would be another group there, and you'd have to like go up against them and things like that. Now the PlayStation 1, I was 10 years old when I got my PlayStation 1. I didn't have any consoles before then. I just didn't. I played on like some of my friends' consoles and like that, but I just didn't like have my own. I didn't have like DS's or anything like that at all. I literally just had the PC that was my parents' one and stuff, and like I would just use that. So when I was 10 years old, my parents actually got me. I came home from school. I remember it so well. I came home from school. I was 10 years old. It was on my birthday, and I walked to my bedroom, and my parents were both there, and I had my bag, and I just looked, and I could see the PlayStation 1. And there was a chair sitting in front of me. My dad had been using it just to see what it was like, and there was a chair sitting there, and I was just like, is that for me? And both my parents were like, yeah. And no word of a lie, I cried my eyes out. I could not believe that I had a PlayStation 1. I cried my eyes out. I was like, I couldn't believe it. My dad even had to tell me to sit on the chair. He was like, come and sit on the chair. And he handed me the controller, and I was literally just like, I can't believe this is mine. Like, it literally just blew my mind. Like, this was mine. I could not wait to tell my friends that I had one. I was so excited. Most kids then were like, I've had consoles before, it's not a big deal. But for me, it was such a huge moment in my life that I had something like other kids had, that it was literally like so precious to me. And I looked after it so much, and I used it so much. Like, it never died. I would clean it. I looked after it so much because it was so precious to me. And I think from then it's when it really kicked the ball rolling for like games and stuff for me. So, and there is a lot of games for this. So we had things like Crash Team Racing, Gran Turismo 2, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, obviously, Hogs of War, Colin McRae Rally. I love Colin McRae Rally, and I particularly like the Monte Carlo circuit. Those are my favourites. How weird is that I remember this? Crash Bandicoot Warped, Tony Hawk Skateboarding 2. The music in that was really cool. I love that. And the graphics at the time, I was like, wow, this is so cool. It's like real. Bust a Move, and I even bought a dance mat for Bust a Move. It cost me like 20 quid or something, and I had a dance mat for it. That was so fun. Point Blank, so you could actually get like guns and use it. I used to have to try and do it with the controller because I could never find the guns, but yeah, I couldn't find them to buy them, so I always tried to use my controller. I wasn't too bad with it actually. Toka Touring Cars, Devil Dice, that was a pain in the ass game. Pandemonium 2, Pandemonium 2 was a beautiful game, but it could get so frustrating to play. But I didn't play the first one, I only wanted the second one because I was a girl and I wanted to be the girl. So yeah, Pandemonium 2, which I got rid of, and I think it's like worth quite a lot of money now. It's like really hard to find. A lot of these games now I don't own anymore, and they are super hard to find, and it's so frustrating. Like, I wish I kept them. Discworld 2, Missing Presumed, which has got different titles depending on where you are, but Discworld 2 I wish I had again, because when I was at that age trying to figure out how to solve the clues was just like, it was so hard to do. So I wish I could like get it again and try it now I'm older, because I really think that I'd have more of a chance at it. Final Fantasy 8, Midnight Club 2, we've got Colony Wars Vengeance, Tekken 1, 2 and 3, so beginning of the whole Tekken range. Oh, I loved Tekken 1, 2 and 3. It's funny because you play Tekken 3 and it was like, became really fluid. And you can see like the polygon shapes, it was so cool. And then if you went back to playing Tekken 1, you'd press forwards and 3 days later they would then move. So there was like a huge difference between Tekken 3 and Tekken 1 and like how it actually worked. It was so cool. G Darius, love G Darius. Theme Hospital, which my mum completed over and over and over again. Like, my parents even bought a PlayStation because they wanted to use it, and we would like have games and swap the games between us. But my mum loved Theme Hospital. She was so good that she like reached level 10 like so many times. She would just delete it and then start it all over again. So yeah, my mum's like really good at games. Both my parents are still into gaming. My mum's like a bit of a completionist. She's done pretty much all of Guild Wars 1. She's completed almost, like, if she had a team of people with her, she'd complete Guild Wars 2. The only thing that she can't do is fractions, because you need like a group of people. And some of the guild missions. Like, she's like major completionist. She does everything. It's crazy. Constructor. Love Constructor. That was really, really fun as well. I wish I could get Constructor again. Oh my god, I would love to play Constructor again. That is such a cool game. I wonder if you can get it on PC, because that would be epic. I'd love to play Constructor again. Again, another one that my mum and dad loved and completed. Populous the beginning. That was really fun. I did actually cheat code Populous because I, again, got to the point where I would get really bored. I was like, it's taking too long. So I cheat coded it, and I would get like the volcano volcanoes and the hurricanes and everything else, and just like lay waste to land. It was really fun. Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive was a really good game. It was Tomb Raider. I had Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 was my favourite. 3 is when it got really juicy, and it was like, I think it was 3 that went to like Nevada and like all the other places. I also had 4, which I thought was pretty bad. I didn't like Tomb Raider 4. 5, which was Chronicles, again, love that one. Or Bomberman, and me and my mum used to like play it all the time together. My mum would be like, no, 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 no. She'd be like running away and things like that, trying to get away from the blocks at the end, and I'd like throw bombs in. It was really funny. And I would like pick her up and like chuck her in the block wall to like win the game. It was hilarious. Like, we would have so much fun together playing games. LAPD Future Cop, I still have this and I loved it. Me and my dad played it all the time. We completed it loads. That was such a fun game. I loved that game. Spyro the Dragon, obviously, had to have Spyro the Dragon. Love Spyro the Dragon to bits. The first one, more than any of the others, was, I think, the best one. There's like a minor section as well where I've got games I wish I had but only had as demos, and that was things like Overboard. That was a really fun game. Wish I had that as a full game but only has a demo. Medieval I so wanted, but I could never find it to buy anywhere because I used to have to go into shops and get them, like Woolworths and stuff like that. Couldn't find it anywhere, so totally missed out on that, but played the demo and loved it. Tomba was awesome. I played the demo, completed it over and over and over again, really wanted it, could not find that anywhere. And Klonoa was a brilliant game. I loved Klonoa. It was like a dog with like great big ears with like hands and hands that like could fly or something, but it was so cool. So moving back to PC now, so I'm around about 15 years old now. Again, The Sims, still playing The Sims. I used to actually start to then go into my local town every single weekend around that time as well, because I had some friends that we would go and do gaming stuff. We had like a LAN thing in town. Can't remember what they're called now. But yeah, so you go in, I think it was called Tandy's. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure it was called Tandy's. I'm sure that's what it was called, Tandy's. And yeah, you pay like money and like you play for an hour. In there was Quake and Counter-Strike. I would pay every weekend to play. I was really more into Counter-Strike than Quake. I remember it was Counter-Strike came out, played that for months, and then Quake came out and everyone wanted Quake, but I was into Counter-Strike. For my 16th birthday, once again, I cried my eyes out. I was bought a PlayStation 2. PlayStation 1, still good, kept, still have my PlayStation 1 like I said, but there was a PlayStation 2 sitting there and I was like, oh my god. Well, I took out the box and everything, and I was literally just like looking at the box for about an hour, just seeing what games there were. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I've got a PlayStation 2, this is crazy. Again, I cried, I couldn't believe it, I got it out, it's this great big box, put it there, and then you had to have like all the wireless bits. Do you remember you had to do the DVD bit? Then you used to have to buy like the little wireless connector to put in the front to make the remote work. Oh yeah, loved it, absolutely loved it. So PlayStation 2, I had Time Splitters 2, which was okay. You know, it was like one of my first shooty kind of games on there. It was okay. Dead or Alive 2, just like a follow-on from the first one. Still like a beat 'em up. Still very smooth and fluid though for what it was, from what I remember. It was a lot smoother and fluid than the Tekken games. Again, The Sims, this was like The Sims, so like the first time that it came to console, and then I also had The Sims Busting Out. That was pretty cool. So that was like when they started to get more of a personality and it became a little bit more like realistic, I suppose. So yeah, that was really cool. Again, my favourites on this one is a big favourites list. We've got Tomb Raider, Angel of Darkness. I put it on there because I love Tomb Raider, but Angel of Darkness was a bit pants. So it wasn't like my most favourite game, but it's just because it was part of the Tomb Raider genre. Tomb Raider Legends, I completed so many times. I loved Tomb Raider Legends. I loved it. Tomb Raider Anniversary, again, another one I absolutely freaking loved. Tomb Raider Underworld, again, completed it so many times. I loved the whole gameplay of that as well. Then we had Tekken 5. I love Tekken 5 because of the story of it, with like Jin Kazama and all that. I love the storyline of Tekken 5. So I bought that because obviously it followed on with all the rest of the stories. Kingdom Hearts. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. I don't know many people that don't like Kingdom Hearts. I love the soundtrack of it, the storyline of it, the fact that it's all Disney and things. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it so much. Kingdom Hearts 2. The Herbs, Sims in the City, which was a bit weird because I thought it was like a Sims game, and it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. So it was the herbs, and you also had like the black eyed peas in it. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Again, I'll throw up like pictures of it. But yeah, it had like the black eyed peas as like the main soundtrack. It was pretty cool. You had like different like clicks and stuff. It was really, really awesome. I really like that game as well. My soft spots forever, these are like my ultimate favourites, which I've even rebought now on the new console, is Ratchet and Clank. Just the first one, the rest of them again didn't like too much, but Ratchet and Clank was awesome. I love that game. Again, completed it hundreds of times, all the gold bolts, got the Rhino, awesome machinery. Final Fantasy X, I literally cried at the end, I kid you not. Took me ages to actually get past one bit of that game, like ages. I even bought the book for it, the Final Fantasy X book on how to complete the game, and there was one bit, I think it's like just before Yuna's getting married, and they have to fight, they're like on top of the ship, and you can only have 3 characters. I don't think you can swap in or out either. And there's like this big thing that you have to fight before you can go and save Yuna from getting married. That thing was horrendous to try and kill if you weren't at a high enough level. So I've rebought that game though, so we have learnt from our mistake. Final Fantasy X too, I bought that and I love that as well. I like the fact that it was all girls and like they had like dress spheres. I thought it was like kind of like a different, taken a really neat way of doing it. I bought it because obviously it carried on from like 10. I want to know the storyline of that as well. And Dynasty Warriors 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Loved them all, thought they were fantastic games, and yeah, I've loved Dynasty Warriors. In fact, me and my dad used to play Dynasty Warriors as well, just like hacking and slacking. We went through so many handsets as well, like there were so many remote deaths from that game because the square button just got annihilated from hitting it. So Cooler World, probably again something that people wouldn't really know much of. Cooler World was basically you were a round bouncy sort of like beach ball, and you had to get from A to B round blocks and things. It was a really good like work it out kind of game. There were 2 other games as well that I didn't even get a look in, and that's called Drakengard. There was Drakengard 1 and Drakengard 2, and the main character was called Kaim. And he could like control dragons or something like that, I don't know. It was a really cool game from what I saw. My mum bought it and completed both of them. I didn't even get a look in. So I went back to PC. That's where I found Guild Wars. Next few years I studied and just pretty much played Guild Wars. Moved back home and I was into Guild Wars, Lord of the Rings Online, The Sims 3 still. And wow, I tried it but could not get into it. I played Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time and I loved it. That really opened me up to Assassin's Creed. And then I found DW8 and killed his PlayStation 3. I literally was playing DW8, Dynasty Warriors 8, and his PC suddenly just went stopped and died. Also during that time I bought Guild Wars 2 and I became completely obsessed with it. And then I also during that time started playing Aeon, which is a beautiful game, but it's just so sticky and laggy all the time that I just can't get into it at the moment. It's just really, really bad. And then that's when Sims 4 also came out as well, so I also hopped on Sims 4. Love Sims 4. In fact, I might play that later today. I feel Sims 4 could be on today. I'd love to play Sims 4. I love it. I just like making kitchens and houses. I don't so much like playing like the family side of it. I just love building the kitchens and the bedrooms and stuff. I can't be the only one that enjoys it, right? Right? Almost done. So, onto the PlayStation 4 now. Pretty much most of you know about what I have on the PlayStation 4 because I've done loot box videos and I've done my Dynasty Warriors things, and I think I've done Ghost Recon and Final Fantasy, so you kind of have an idea of what I have got. But I'll just run through what I've had. So the past like 3 years almost, 4 years now actually. It's been things like Overwatch, Ghost Recon, Dynasty Warriors 9, which is getting better for me. It is getting better for me. Ratchet and Clank, Final Fantasy X, Assassin's Creed Origins. I have not played an awful lot, but enough to know that I'm going to really like it as I get into it more. No Man's Sky, which I don't own anymore. And Paragon. I was so into Paragon, but they've stopped it now. Paragon was awesome. I loved playing Paragon. It was like a card-based game. And Morgesh was my main, and she was really hard to be on her own doing some of the stuff. I just absolutely loved it. There were some really cool characters. Iggy and Scorch were another favourite of mine. They were brilliant. It's such a shame that it's just not there anymore. I have got a DS. I keep it in this. Oh, it's so sweet. I keep my little DS bag. So the games that I have played on it are things like My Sims. The My Sims game on this is kind of rubbish. I'm really big into The Sims, but I just don't really dig this game. So it's in there because I don't have the heart to get rid of it, but I'm not a big fan of it. I've also got things like Dragon Quest. Now Dragon Quest is a really good game. The only downside of it is that, I mean, I love the fact that I can make my character, and as I gain bits then I can put them on my little character, and even though she's this big you can kind of see it. I love the fact that you can customise things. I do love customisable characters, I think it's great. But yeah, it's a bit preachy. So there is a lot of like religious based kind of stuff going on here, which that's fine, but it almost goes on and on about it too much, and I'm just like, okay, I just want to like get to the fighting bit and finding stuff and doing the quests now. You know, it just got a little bit too much for me with that. But it is a good game if you can get past all. Pokemon X, so that's the blue one. I did finish this, but when my husband went into hospital a few years back, I actually deleted all of my progress on here so he could play it, which was fine. But the other day I was like, oh, I'll start again, and I'm just like, oh, I cannot be bothered to start again. I will always have a Pokemon game on me. I can't not, because I do like Pokemon. I have the app on my phone, and it's quite addictive. I really do enjoy it. Now, the game that I'm always playing though, and you're going to think I'm nuts, that's it, I had Nintendo. This is the Nintendo 3DS. Here we go. So, in my Nintendo DS, I had Style Boutique. Now, for most people out there, you probably think it's really sad, but I enjoyed it. It's basically you open a shop, or like you go into a shop and then you end up owning the shop and you just dress people because of what they want. And I think that was the basic one of this one. The next one that came out was for the 3DS, and this is it just says New Style Boutique. So then there was this version here. Now this one here, the graphics was a lot better. There was a lot more choice with the fashion and things like that. But you could also do things like, you could do sales. So you could go into sales, so you could like drop your prices down to clear some of the stuff. You had, I think 3 mannequins you could dress for your shop window. So it was really customizable and it was really, really fun. It was like having an actual shop. Then there's this one, and this one I've played for almost, I must say 2 or 3 years now at least. This is the New Style Boutique 2 Fashion Forward. This game I cannot get enough of. I've completely reset the game and I've started again, so my about 2 years worth of progress has completely gone and I've restarted it. It's really fun though. There are so many things to do in this game. The only thing that I wish they had more of in it is, and it sounds really silly, but the mannequins in the window and the sale, I do miss that. They have 1 mannequin available to dress in the window. I wish that it was more than 1. I wish you had at least 2. I wish you could dress the guys as well, because in the one I showed you just a minute ago, you could do men and women. And it would have been nice if you had like the option to dress guys and girls in this, and have maybe 2 mannequins in the window for when you want to like maybe a Valentine thing. It would have just been cute, I'm just saying. And what was the other thing that was, oh yeah, the sale. You can't put things into a sale, you can only do like a stock clearance now. So like if you go to buy new clothing, you just have to go in and just literally get rid of some of your old clothing to buy the new stuff for your shop. So it was much better to have a sale, because you had like loads of people come in and they were like, I just want to buy all this stuff like cheap. That was cool. And I just remember as well, flyers. You used to be able to make posters and flyers on the one previous to this one to send out, and you could say like if you bought 10 tops the same, you could send out a flyer and with that top on it, people would come in and say, I want to buy the top because it's in a flyer. That was so cool. So they kind of dropped a few things from that one to this one, and I wish they kept those few things in this, because that would have been like, I don't know, just so cool. Like there is so much to do in this. I can't even begin to tell you how much there is to do in this game. I love it so much. But yeah, I just think they could have like kept some of those bits, because it just would have been like, I don't know, more things to do, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, really, really good game. Love it so much. That is, from what I can remember, all the games I have owned or played. I swear I am like forgetting some. I really am, I think. But anyway, that's all I can think of for now. This has been a super long video. I hope I've managed to do it all in one part. If not, and I've separated them but uploaded them at the same time, then I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Come back next week and I will be doing, I think, Magic or Misery on this Sweet Dreams eyeshadow palette by Model's Own. I will be doing that one next week, so come back for that. And thank you very much for watching, and thank you for everybody who's subscribed recently as well. Like, you're so awesome and cool. I think about 120 subscribers. That's like, for me, that's like so many people. That's a lot of people. Put them in one room, that's a lot of people. So yeah, thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and liking and just hanging out with me and listening to me ramble on for like over half an hour now about games. Hope I brought back some nostalgia for you. Hope you're having a good Monday. Hope you have a really good rest of the week. And I will see you back here next Monday. Until then, take care and bye-bye.